You guys are probably wondering what the fuck I'm doing right now. I will explain, but first let me intro this video before we get into the nitty-gritty of why I'm suffering right now. Yeah. Okay. So hey everyone, it's Teresa and welcome back to my channel. As you guys can tell, this is a new vlog. This is part of my, the acetone smells, oh it got all over me. So this is part of my series from the last book rec that I had. That's all about if you or a friend are completely stuck on Harry Potter. These are some adult books that, or I think there's a couple middle grade in there as well, that you can use to ease yourself out of this, because like while Harry Potter will probably never leave the collective mind, we can at least read more things. So this is me doing this vlog. It's for Atlas 6. I would show you guys the book, but I currently have a bowl of acetone and other contraptions on this table, and I'll explain why. So a couple weeks ago, I got my nails done. I got them done with acrylics. I'll show the picture. I did want them a medium coffin, other than like kind of the almond shape that the suggestion came in. They came in way too long and way too square. I wanted a medium coffin, and medium's about here-ish. They ended up being way too long and way too square and way too thick. But I was like a determined little happy camper. I was super excited for the nails, and I was like, I'll just plow through. It's like 2 to 3 weeks max with these nails. I got them done for my friend's wedding, so my boyfriend and mine's outfits were a little bit coordinated. I had like a pink underlay, and he had like a navy blue suit. So it worked. Now the last day, the day we were flying out, my nail ripped, this nail ripped, as I was trying to close my makeup bag with all my things in it. And I was determined to like let it heal and then go to my nail tech and get the rest removed in like another week. Now within that week, this nail kept getting caught on things and reopening, and then the other nails, I could just feel like the pressure of them whenever like it tapped something wrong. So I finally took the initiative to take off most of the nails last week. I say most because there is still acrylics left all over my fingertips because the material was so thick. Now we're here. I was gonna wait until the weekend, but with how busy my weekend's gonna be on top of me starting a new job on Monday, I just want at least this nail completely off. It's still not fully healed, so we'll see how painful this process is gonna be, but I'm gonna turn on some Netflix, some comfort stuff, and we'll go from there. Hey friends, it is now Friday. I just got home early from my last shift at my first big girl job, so it's been kind of an emotional roller coaster. Like, it was a really fun day. The CEO of the company is having her first baby, so we had like a little baby shower and then like a barbecue for my goodbye, and then got out early. So I don't know if I'll get a ton of time to read this weekend. It's gonna be pretty jam-packed, but I do have a few hours before I'm gonna go to my boyfriend's. First I have to fix my makeup because there's some tears that ruined some spots. But I think I'm just gonna go ahead, you should show me tail. And you should show me head. But I'm just gonna go ahead and start Atlas 6, which I meant to start last night, and edit a video. So, as we all know, this took forever. I'm gonna start Atlas 6, and then probably start editing a video. I'm just kind of chill, decompress. I have it's my boyfriend's cousin's sweet 16 today, so I just need to like breathe a little bit before I throw myself into social interactions. Alright, so I realized I didn't tell you guys what this book is about, but let me just tell you. So Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake is an adult, like I said, dark academia fantasy situation where 10 magicians are asked, or six magicians are asked to earn their place in the Alexandrian society. Then chosen one, you know, gets the most prestige and power. And then these 6 have to fight for their position and to become like the top one. So lots of difficulties. What can I say about this so far? I haven't started reading it. My bookmark's literally sitting on, not even on the first page. This is by a Filipino author. This is also a reprint, but yes, I will go ahead and start reading this book now. I do need to plug my camera in, so there will be no b-roll from this situation. Hey, it is now Monday. I haven't had a chance to film. I haven't filmed all weekend. I haven't even had a chance to upload the videos and edit the videos that I filmed over the past like few weeks. So here we are. But it is Monday. I have had a chance to read the book. Today was my first day at my new job, so it was a lot of information, but not too hard. But my body is shutting down. It's been 3 weeks of like nonstop back to back to back, and like I can feel it like right between my shoulder blades. I just need a shower. But I wanted to update you guys. I have read a bit. I did talk about this with Andrea a little bit. I'm on like page 66, 67. I'm enjoying it. I like the characters so far. They're all very, very different and varied from one another. There's no way you can convince them. And they're all from, I believe, what seems to be different ethnicities. I could be wrong though. Very wrong. But they are from different nationalities, so we'll take that. My biggest issue right now is that this is the first book, and there has been very little descriptions of exactly what is going on in this world. And I don't know, like, I know as an adult, but I don't know if y'all know me. I like not so much info dumpy, but like a nice trail of information and descriptors that tell me what it is, because I thought they were all just witches or magicians, but now we're talking about meridians and these specific subcategories. But it doesn't tell me if all witches can if you're just a normal witch, you can practice these specific subcategories with a specific set of proficiencies, or if you are a meridian, if you just have or if you have if you're a witch, you only have a specific kind of specification, and then if you're a meridian, you are like a prodigy in these specifications. So I'm also finding that this book likes to say a lot of things, but nothing at all. Like, there's so much descriptors and long paragraphs and like not even like purpley prose. It's just like hoity-toity, like you went to Oxford kind of vibe, or like Harvard kind of vibe. But I'm gonna go take a shower now and die in the shower because I'm so tired, and I'll catch up with y'all once I've read more. I don't know if I'm gonna be alive after the shower because my body is in shutdown mode. So it is Tuesday morning, it's bachelor day. I'm just getting things ready before I leave for work. I have like 15 minutes, so naturally I wanted to vlog. I didn't get much reading done last night. I was actually pretty pooped. I tried even like watching TV, like a new TV show. Brain wasn't in it, so. But I wanted to tell you guys about the scare that our heater put us through. So I was working just fine up until like right before bed around like 10, and it just decided to stop working. It like did not want to heat up. We turned the fan on and it wasn't just spewing out hot air, and we were like, great, this is great, because yesterday was freezing cold. It snowed. It's been snowing for the past couple days here, so that was fun. But yeah, I'm hoping today at lunch I'll have more energy and it'll be a little warmer so I can sit in my car and vlog a little bit and get some b-roll, but who knows. But yeah, second day at the new job plus trying to vlog. It was, in retrospect, probably not the smartest decision I could make, but I made it. So we're gonna have to live with the consequences. And by we, I mean I. Hey everyone, it is now Wednesday. You guys are currently on my dresser while I get rid of my sheets and get them ready for a nice bath, because it's been a minute and I was sick last week, so I just kind of want to clean out and have fresh-ish sheets. But I did want to update y'all. I did get quite a bit of reading done today while I was at work. Not because I was not working, but during my lunch break. I have an understanding of the world now. So there are humans, like normal people with no magic. Then there are people who do have magic, who don't have a particular like set of like, who aren't like specific to a kind of power set. Then you have people who do have a specific power set, but are, you know, like average at it. And then you have people who are considered really powerful in their power set. It took me like 100 pages to get it, but I got it. So far, it's interesting. I like the dynamic of this competition and definitely the growing relationships between everyone. I can't tell you who at present is my favorite, just because the characters right now are just kind of annoying me. I think if I had to choose one that was my least favorite, it might be Parisa, which sucks because she seems like such a girl boss, but she also just seems like a bitch for no reason. So I'm just like, you know, I get it, but let's just girl boss and be nice to people. there's no reason why you shouldn't be nice to people. So that is my current dilemma. I also cannot tell if Nico is gay or bi or pan. I think he's bi at least. He seems to have had a very many sexual relationships with women, but then has a very soft fondness for Gideon. An almost like near possessive fondness, I want to say. Still can't tell if that means that he swings one way or the other, or swings both like a pendulum, or maybe more like a bat and just wildly in every direction. I also have a slight fondness for Libby just because she seems like she's an anxious little bean. I kind of ship her with Nico, but also on the sole basis that it seems like a really good lovers, like enemies to lovers dynamic, but I'm also still high on my Bridgerton phase, so that could also be it. I can also tell that there's going to be something that happens between Tristan and Libby, and then Tristan and Parisa. In the books, Parisa and Tristan have already slept together. Parisa was like, no, we're in a competition, like I don't want to get you to the wrong idea, so this is a one-time thing, and kept it to a one-time thing. And Tristan, who seems like he is a bottom, a very strong bottom, was like, but I have loyalty to you. Strong bottom, yet again, but also has a fondness for Libby because they went through a near-death experience together. I don't have any other feelings on Callum, who seems to be who is the empath of the group. Reyna, whom is the naturalist. I feel like Reyna seems cool. She's very just distant, so it's very hard to get a read on her, and Callum just seems like he's just there to contribute mild chaos to the group. Who else? And then Tristan, the only thing I like about him is that he seems to have potential to be a really dynamic character. He has like this really weird backstory with mafia witches, and then tried to marry his way up into a high class family, then broke up with her for the competition, and then also has a soft spot for Libby for whatever reason. I think it's just because she seems different than what he typically goes after. And I don't really have much. I haven't seen anything else outside of the initial, like, meeting the characters, the initial the description of the competition, and then their near-death experience. And then now we're just kind of hitting day-to-day summaries of everything. And I guess, like, growing the friendships of the six, which I'm sure will come back and bite us all in the ass when it's time for elimination. Whoever doesn't get the rose first. I really kind of hope Reyna doesn't get the rose first. Not Reyna. Parisa, which sucks because she's more than likely her name's Parisa Kamali. More than actually she's a BIPOC woman. But I just don't like her vibe. Her vibe just screams like evil. No, she's a telepath, so she's very blunt, but something about it is just like, you are mean for no reason. And it just rubs me the wrong way. Like the cricket's legs aren't making this noise that they need to make. So I'll catch up with y'all when the bureau happens, because I have to get my laundry, this bedsheet stuff started so that way it dries on time, and then take a shower because my boyfriend gave me a very, a deep tissue massage. Like you've seen him, he is bigger than me. So imagine all of that weight into one elbow, into that one little spot. That one, and it helped. Like I feel so much more limber, but everything, like I can't even relax my shoulders. I have to be like pretty like standing up straight for it not to hurt. So I need to take a shower and relax these muscles more. Hey everyone, it is now Thursday night. I just got done drying most of my hair. When it's cold water, my hair retains it even more, so even when I use like the little air dry cream that my boyfriend's aunt gave me, it's fine. This is how it goes. There's no cast, there's not a strong cast, and it's still kind of damp in some parts. So, you know, we're just gonna make do with what we got. But I wanted to update you guys on the weird, probably clip that you guys saw last time of me blow drying my comforter. So I was sick last week, and what I like to do after I'm sick is wash my sheets. You know, get all like whatever like bad vibes out of here, you know, start fresh, start new. And since my weekend was so busy, just did not get a chance to wash any of my sheets. So I finally washed them, and my washer does this thing where if it's not perfectly like balanced, like with the weight distributed evenly inside, it starts to kind of waddle around. And I had to pause the washer because it was waddling toward the door of the laundry door, and sadly there's not a lot of room to give, so it would have hurt the like damaged the door. And I guess in my process of pausing it to waddle it back, it restarted the final spin cycle, which involved water. So it was already wet, and it got even more wet, so when it does like the final cycle of like squeezing out the water, so to speak, did not work so well. So my comforter and then 2 of my blankets came out fairly, like you dumped it in the ocean and then took it out for an hour, you know, dumped it in the ocean for an hour, took it out. And my comforter took a total of like 2 hours to get to a point where I could even blow dry it. Sheets were fine. My 2 blankets finally just dried tonight, but I had to blow dry because it was dry in some parts and then damp and kind of still wet in others. So I just kind of dried the center portions of my bed and then let the edges just like get damp. And then, oh hi Nico, buddy. Bud. Thank you. No, almost okay. But so that's what that happened. But I did read more of the book today. I think I'm about halfway through. Right now it's just a lot of like relationship building, of like building the friendships, the relationships, the potential relationships, and everything in between. It's interesting in the sense that I get to see how everyone's minds work and where they're going, but it's also just kind of boring because I want to see like more of what the school is, I suppose. I want to see, like, we're seeing more mystery and some of the, like, I guess the lies that are going on inside the school. But it's just very much like you go to class, you talk, you figure out your project, so on and so forth, which again is fine. I don't mind it. But right now I'm very confused on the relationships happening, so it seems like Nico may or may not be, he is bi, I'm assuming, but I thought he was gonna get something on with Gideon. Oh, that's a fucking mosquito. That's a huge, ew. There's a mosquito like right outside my glass door, but then he seems to have an almost a slight adoration that he doesn't want know what to do with Libby. He like insults her, but then at the end of it he's like, I really wouldn't know where I'd be without her. But then Tristan and Libby seem to have a thing going on, so I don't know if that means like love triangle or what, but it's an interesting time indeed. I don't know what to do with it, honestly, if I'm being very frank. I'm really hoping it does pick up quite a bit, because like I feel like I spent a lot of the first chunk of the book just trying to figure out some of the world building and like how the world works and what it means. So I would like to, now with this knowledge that may or may not be accurate, I would like to see what it does going forward. But who knows? I guess we'll find out. Yeah. But I'm gonna go edit my video now. I'm gonna have my April and March wrap up hopefully tomorrow or Saturday, depending on how time works for me. And yeah. last update for the night. I am going to keep reading though. But there's a big reveal of like what happens, I guess, with the competition. And I don't know, I can't tell if it was spelled out too much, or if maybe I just, you know, enjoy these kinds of things too much, and like I just also really enjoyed If You Were Villains, so I feel like that part of the plot just kind of comes with like the dark academic territory, I suppose. But it didn't feel like much of a twist. Like this, they found out and I was like, makes sense. And now like Parisa's trying to like figure it out and get to learn more, and I can't feel her anxiety or her like budding curiosity or some mild resentment. So I'm just sitting here like, what's wrong? Ooh. Yeah, I'm about I'll probably get to page like 200, or probably finish at the part since it ends at, or part 5 since it ends at page 206. So that'll probably be it for the updates tonight. But I'm hoping to finish this by the weekend. You know, fingers crossed. I'm hoping. Hello, it is now Friday. I had plans for tonight. Just clean my bathroom and then hang out with my boyfriend. But then, dun, boyfriend has COVID. I still could have cleaned the bathroom, but after the situation of boyfriend has COVID and me potentially having COVID, I just want to order some greasy food, soda, and just relax for the night. But I did get a chance to read more of the book. It's definitely picking up. It picked up literally right after I ended last night's clip. Threesomes were had. Threesomes that I didn't know would happen were had. Mental mind games were had. Let's see, and that's all I can really say. I really do enjoy this book. Like, when it starts to pick up, it really picks up and I cannot put it down. The issue is that this game is very much like almost a very political portion is what I'm seeing. It's both a mix of what you are capable of doing and bringing to the table, but also how can you convince everyone else that you are strong and capable of bringing said things to the table. But I'm enjoying it since I have a lot of free time now in my hands while I'm gonna take a COVID test tomorrow just to see, because I'm not showing any symptoms right now, and my boyfriend started showing symptoms a day after his roommate did. So following that logic, if I do start showing symptoms, I'll start showing them today, like before bed, or tomorrow morning. So I don't want to like waste a COVID test, because I feel fine, just to see a negative and then have it later turn into a positive come Monday when I get tested, or Tuesday. So I'm gonna take my time with it. But since I have all that time, I am going to read. I'm gonna read. I have about this much left of the book, so it should be an easy breezy cover girl moment. Saturday and she a negative. Woohoo. Yay. Oh, I'm so happy. I did get a chance to read a little bit more last night. I fell asleep. Both a mix of reading and rewatching the Whatchamajigger. Fear Street. It is now Sunday night. Yes, I finished the book yesterday, but I had a bunch of things to do right after finishing the book, so I didn't get a chance to update. But I ended up giving this, I'm torn between giving it a 4 and a 4.5 because this was a really good read. I enjoyed the book for what it is. There's a lot of building that goes on with this book. I think it didn't start picking up until until the threesome situation occurred, and then when it picked up, it just continued to keep going. However, I feel like what dings me, it makes it really difficult, was that one, there were a couple of things that I'm a little hesitant with. I feel like the world building just was not there. You guys watched me piece this together as I read the books and the books progressed, so like, yes, I figured it out, but after a while it just got annoying trying to figure out how the magic system works, what this magic system, like how this magic fits into like the normal world, the implications of that, whether or not people know the specifications of this magical world. Those things just weren't really well defined, and I feel like because of that, the book tells us a lot of things, like prose-wise, without telling us anything. It's just a lot of like filler words, lots of long passages, which in a dark academia book is fitting and it makes sense. However, again, there's just no explanation. It took me a few good days to figure out whether or not people knew that the magic was involved, the kinds of magic that were involved, and then the people, like whether or not like the different like subcategories of magicians. And I guess there are also fairies and mermaids, which then begs a difference of like what it means to have like a ghost, or like are there other vampires, like what is the different levels of this world. There are like time travelers, the people who can travel dreams, and at some point I was just like I just wasn't sure on how the world was structured and how it was built, and it was just a lot of like like putting together the puzzles. Libby and Rhodes were the highlight of this novel. I kept reading because I loved their chapters. I really felt for Libby as an anxious person myself who is quite bookish and doesn't really know how to be more confident in certain situations. And I loved her dynamic with Nico. I felt like their dynamic was a beautiful enemies to friends. I don't know if it'll continue into lovers in the next series or not, but they had some of the best lines in this entire novel for two people who are not currently in a trajectory to be a romantic relationship. Absolutely beautiful. Now, in terms of like whether or not you would like Atlas 6 if you liked Harry Potter, I think so. It is a little bit, it's not a beginner friendly book. I would say it's not something that you should dive into because of the world building issues around it. However, we do get kind of those similar dynamics. Like Nico reminds me a little bit of like Draco, just because he's supposed to have like, very sure of himself, comes from I think a family full of power, and he's a powerhouse himself magically. Then you have his very bookish opposite, who is Libby. who could be, I guess, like Harry and Hermione's love child. But I don't think this book is great if you are just trying to step out of Harry Potter right away. Again, just solely on the purpose of the world building just not being there 100%. But I can see a lot of the similarities that you might enjoy. There are powers in here, like they take special classes to strengthen their powers. They form these bonds of friendships, lots of like kind of mysteries that we do see in the Harry Potter universe. So I think you would enjoy this book. However, again, I don't think this is a book that you will particularly like really enjoy and dig into, because the world building isn't that described or developed, which I feel like even Harry Potter is a middle grade novel, so while some things aren't super described, it is designed for a younger audience. You can fill in the gaps a little bit. But I really did enjoy this book. I'm sure I'll be continuing on with the series, but because I was gasping toward the end of this book. Like, I was texting Andrew, like, what is going on? Did they die? Who died? Oh my god, did someone else die? What is this? Is it this person? I think he's in charge. It's just a lot. It's good, but again, it's just the world building. Like, at some point, they were just outright telling us how a certain character grew in power rather than showing us. So yeah, but I recommend if you are a Harry Potter fan who might enjoy a little bit more of ambiguity in terms of like the world building. But if you are not someone who enjoys that, probably should hold off on this and pick up The Magicians to start off. This is literally the simplest adult novel you will read in terms of world building and familiarity with Harry Potter, down to a T. But if you don't mind some puzzle piecing things, like puzzle piecing, I recommend Atlas 6. I think you'll enjoy it, and it does hold up in terms of whether or not you will like it compares to Harry Potter. I think some similarities are there. But that is it for the first installment of this. I will go ahead and leave any reviews or currently readings I have of any of the books that I've read before this, which is only just The Magicians by Lev Grossman. Yeah, if you guys want to see more of this series, I will also leave my predictions video down below for y'all. And I will follow up with a different video sometime next month. I'm hoping to have read The Magician King, and we're currently reading that, so I will have that video somewhere soon. But yeah, but if you enjoy this video and want me to do more like predictions video of like, if you like this, maybe you'll like that, and follow-ups, let me know in the comments down below. I do plan on doing something similar to this, to like a fantasy book recommendation video that I made a while back. But hopefully you guys are having a good week, and if not, hopefully the week gets better for you. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.